Hello and welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to another day of triathlon training. You will notice that I am not saying anymore training like a pro or trying to train like a pro sort of. I'm going to tell you exactly why that is. You might have noticed the last 2 or 3 days I haven't really been doing a great deal of training. Now if I wind back to the beginning of this little project, or just under 2 weeks ago now, I hit it hard. The first 2 days I think I did 9 hours of training, and then the 7 days that followed that I did 17 hours or 18 hours. You might do more or less than that. Some people might say, oh, that's still not much. It was a lot for me. I came into this thing quite unfit, so it really hit me hard, and it essentially put me on my bottom for a few days, both physically and mentally. I couldn't bring myself not to just train hard, but to train at all. Like, it was just a real grind. I underestimated the physical effect it had on me. I also underestimated the life effect. I thought, okay, I'm off work, like I know it's Christmas, but we can't go anywhere or see anybody, so I'll just be training full time. That wasn't the case. You've still got stuff to do, you've still got people to call and all these other things. So it just ended up that I was running myself into the ground physically. It was causing stress, like Liz wanted me to be present and I'm like out on a bike for 4 hours. And she's very flexible and very understanding, but like, it is Christmas, so I feel a bit bad. So I sort of reconsidered it at the end of week 1 and I thought, this isn't benefiting me training wise anymore, I don't think, because I was at the point then where I was that tired, I could hardly do anything of any sort of intensity anyway, so I was just churning miles away just to try and rack up hours. That's not good. So the last few days I've been training, took off the gas, had a few rest days basically. I've had 3 days off the bike, not just the pedals for 3 days, which for me is like massive. I think I've gone this year riding 5 or 6 days a week all year. So, but anyway, feel good for it. I'm going to try and get on things like this now because we can't swim in pools because of Tier 4. Thanks for that. So, not training like a pro anymore. I enjoyed it. Thank you for the support throughout this process. It's been fun to document, but I also think it's important to document that it hasn't worked. Like, this isn't realistic for me to do and probably most other people to do, because jumping from like 10 hours a week training to 20 is huge, and that really knocked me back. James, my coach, will tell me I told you so, because he did tell me this had happened, but sometimes you've got to find out things on your own, haven't you? So, what else am I going to talk about today? My plans for 2021. So today is New Year's Day when I'm recording this. I've been giving it a lot of thought over the last few days. What do I want to do? I'm going to do a separate video in the next few weeks about what events I'm going to do, but I just thought about, what themes, what are my plans for the year without being too specific. I don't want to get into, I want to do this time at this race, I want to place this position at this race. I do have those aims. I think I'd rather let my year be driven by a few other things. So, number 1, I want to have fun. I want to enjoy this year. I want to meet some of you guys and girls at events. I want to go to events and feel fit enough to be there and like I've trained hard enough to deserve a decent result, but also to enjoy it, to go to a race and not be looking at my watch every 5 seconds, to go somewhere and just have damn good fun doing it. So that's number 1. Number 2, I want to try a lot of different things, different races. Some of my program this year has just been driven by events that have been postponed, but you can't help from last year. Hopefully they go ahead this year. But I want to try new things and continue to do a variation of events. So my coach has basically said to me, which I completely agree with, if I continue doing hill climbs, TTs, triathlons, running races, all these different things that I do, and do different types of races, so like, I wanted to do a 12-hour time trial, then I wanted to do a 25-mile time trial, because if you don't focus on one thing, you're not going to be good or great at any of them, and I completely get that. My worry as an amateur athlete is if I was to put all my eggs in one basket and say, right, I'm going to focus on being a 25-mile TT rider. I've got a decent threshold, I hope I'm relatively aero, let's give it a go, let's focus everything on putting out the most power I can for 45, 50 minutes or whatever on a TT bike, and that'll be my aim for the year. 1, it's quite a boring channel, it's quite boring documenting the training, it's going to be the same quite a lot of the time. It's quite boring to do, that might be exciting once or twice, but I think I'll just get bored of it. So, my other worry is that, if I was to do that, I still wouldn't be great at that one thing I focused on. So, I'm going to continue to do that, do different things, but I'm going to be a bit more selective about the races that I do, or try to be. So, as an example, last year I've done hill climbs, TTs, all other things as well. I'm still going to do that, because for example, hill climbs, I'm never going to win a hill climb. I'm not built to win a hill climb, regardless of performance. However, the hill climb community is awesome. I've met some incredible people there. I think it's great content. I think the hill climb world has got a lot to offer cyclists and club cyclists as a whole. So I want to continue documenting it. So I'm going to continue doing that sort of thing, but I might just not do all of them within a 50-mile radius. TTs, again, excellent benefit for triathlon. Really makes you think about aero, really makes you focus on position and pacing and other things. However, I probably shouldn't be doing a TT every weekend like I was doing at some point this year. One event I'm unsure about this year is a 12-hour time trial. I had entered the national 12-hour champs last year, and I'd done all the prep in terms of training, equipment, etc. And I got a tooth infection in the week leading up to it, so I couldn't do it. So I feel like I've gone through all the planning and prep for that sort of event and just haven't done it. So I feel like I should therefore just do it. But I'm not sure how it works out date-wise. The Nationals is 2 weeks before I'm in Wales. I don't think that's sensible. There is one in Norfolk at the beginning of July. Not sure how that fits in with what I've got planned. I'm going to talk to James, my coach, in the next few days and get some things nailed down and try and be a bit more sensible. But I want to get to loads of different events to show you guys and girls what different things there are in the cycling and triathlon world. There's all these different events and things you can do that don't cost the earth, that are fun, that you might not think about. Something like that. Anyway, so today's training, I'm basically just easing into it. So it's the 1st of January. I don't need to set any world records today. So I'm just going to do, what am I now, 10 minutes of doing this. I might do 15 because this is actually really hurting. Then I'm going to do an hour on the bike, probably just zone 2, in position, just getting back into it. It's about 6 PM, I'm ready for tea after this, so I don't need a late night smashing myself. And then get back on it from tomorrow. I've written a plan, James, my cycle coach, has written the cycling plan for me. I've got a running plan in place, swimming is just going to be this for the time being. Let's go, let's give it everything I've got. Good luck to you guys and girls as well. Feel free to drop any comments down below about how you're attacking this year, what sort of things are you thinking about. Has COVID made you think about different targets? Let's do this together, let's get through it. That sounds really like naff, but you know, let's rock. Anyway, I'm not going to make you watch me ride on a bike. I'm sure you can see my triceps popping out now. My form's getting slowly and slowly worse. I know this isn't perfect swim form, but it's better than nothing. So that is it for today's video. I'm sorry it's just me stood here talking, but I think this sort of thing is important to talk about. I hope you get something from it. Here's to me riding my bike outside perhaps tomorrow. So hopefully, I'll see you then. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you tomorrow at 4 PM. Cheers guys and girls.